single dad saw his first love at parent-teacher night, not knowing she was a CEO falling again. Some reunions don't knock. They sit quietly across a small wooden desk and change everything. Arman hadn't planned to stay long. Parent-teacher night was supposed to be simple: sign the paper, nod politely, rush back home before his 6-year-old son, Zion, finished the last episode of his cartoon. As a single father juggling work, school runs, and late-night laundry, Arman had learned to move fast and feel less. Until he heard his name. Mr. Arman Khan. He looked up, and the world tilted. She stood there holding a folder, hair neatly tied back, soft blue kurta paired with a professional blazer. Her eyes, those same eyes, paused the moment they met his. Arman, she whispered. Time folded in on itself. Areeba. His first love. The girl who once laughed with him on rooftops. The girl who left without a goodbye. Now she was his son's class teacher. The room felt too small for the memories flooding in, old promises, broken dreams, and a love he'd buried under responsibility. Areeba composed herself quickly, gesturing for him to sit, but her fingers trembled as she flipped open Zion's file. Zion is kind, she said softly. He reminds me of someone. Arman smiled, unaware that his heart had already started to fall again. They talked about grades, behavior, potential, normal things. But between every sentence lived a silence heavy with what-ifs. When the meeting ended, Areeba hesitated. Arman, are you married? No, he replied honestly. It's just me and my son. Something flickered in her eyes: regret. Relief. As Arman walked out, he didn't notice the black luxury car waiting outside the school. He didn't notice the driver opening the door for Areeba moments later. He didn't know that the woman he still loved was no longer just a teacher. She was the CEO of one of the city's fastest-growing education foundations. And fate wasn't done with them yet. The next meeting wasn't planned. Arman ran into Areeba at a café near the school, Zion spilling juice, Arman apologizing, life being messy and honest. Areeba laughed, rolling up her sleeves to help clean the table, and for a moment, they weren't broken adults anymore, just two hearts remembering how to be together. They started talking. Carefully. Slowly. Areeba revealed the truth she'd carried for years. She hadn't left because she stopped loving him. She left because her family forced her abroad after her father's illness, and she never found the courage to return. Arman shared his own pain, the marriage that failed, the nights he cried silently so his son wouldn't hear. Then the truth slipped out. You're the CEO. Arman asked, stunned, after seeing her on a news article headline. Areeba nodded. But that's not who I am with you. For the first time, Arman felt small, not because of money, but fear. Could a man still healing raise a child and love a woman with a world so big? The challenge wasn't society. It was trust. The resolution came quietly. One evening, Areeba showed up at Arman's modest home, not with gifts, not with status, but with storybooks for Zion and food she cooked herself. I don't want a perfect life, she said. I want a real one. With you. If you'll let me. Zion hugged her first. Arman followed, slowly, honestly, bravely. Some love stories don't restart loudly. They begin again, softly. Love doesn't return the way it left. It comes back asking harder questions. Arman tried to act normal after that night, but normal no longer fit. Every morning, as he tied Zion's school tie, his thoughts wandered to Areeba, her calm voice, the way she listened without fixing, the way she looked at his son as if he mattered. Still, fear is stubborn. At work, Arman overheard colleagues talking about Areeba Malik, the powerful CEO funding new schools across the city. Her name landed differently now, heavy, intimidating. That night, while washing dishes, he stared at his tired reflection and whispered the truth he hadn't said aloud. What if I'm not enough for her world? The test came sooner than expected. The school organized a charity event. Parents, donors, media, everyone attended. Arman went for Zion, holding his small hand tightly. When Areeba walked onto the stage, confident and graceful, applause filled the hall. Zion tugged Arman's sleeve. Papa, that's Miss Areeba. Pride and panic collided in Arman's chest. Later, surrounded by people in suits and polished smiles, Arman stepped back, ready to disappear. But Areeba found him. She always did. Why are you hiding? She asked gently. This is your world, he replied. I don't belong in it. Areeba didn't argue. She didn't persuade. She took his hand and placed it over her heart. This, she said softly, is where I belong. And it only beats right when you're close. The noise faded. Titles dissolved. At home that night, Arman sat beside Zion as he slept, thinking about all the times he'd chosen safety over happiness. Slowly, carefully, he understood. Being a single dad taught him how to stay. Loving Areeba again would teach him how to risk. The next morning, he didn't hesitate. He showed up, not as someone perfect, but as someone present. Some endings hurt. Some beginnings are quiet. But the bravest choice is choosing tomorrow, even when your heart still remembers yesterday. Speech balloon, tell us, do you believe first love ever truly ends, or does it only wait?